Welcome back. Our next guest says seeing a mix of letters and numbers tattooed on her grandparents' forearms is something she says she will never forget. That tattoo they were given during the Holocaust. And Dana Rogozinski is the president and founder of J&E Legacy Collection. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. We're talking about inspirational stories. We just met with a young lady a second ago who had an idea, launched it, is now selling it. You're doing something very similar, but this for you really stems from a very personal story, one that you learned from your grandparents.
Yes, you know, this didn't really start off as a business. My grandmother's 90. And her tattoo on her arm is fading, as are her memories from that time. And I really felt like I needed something to help me cope with her getting older, and also to really help me carry on her legacy, carry on her story. She spoke for over 30 years on her story, and if she doesn't do it, I felt like it was up to me and my generation to do it. So I was working with Underwoods here locally, where she worked for almost 50 years, and told them kind of what I was thinking, and I started designing a year and a half ago, and it took that long to really come up with something that I felt like was raw and was a conversation piece, and it kind of sprung from there.
And so you decided to come up with your own jewelry line then to remember the atrocities of the Holocaust. And so talk about what the line represents and what you want people, when they look at these pieces, to really think about.
So yes, this is a jewelry line, but I like to look at it as pieces of history or heirlooms. She didn't have anything to pass down from her family, because when she was stripped of everything except for her tattoo, which was her identity, she really needed something. And so I wanted to start designing and really sharing her story. And for me, the story is so important. It's the numbers that were her identity for so many years that it really stuck with me, and something that I felt like I really needed to do.
And did this really come full circle? Because you said your grandmother worked at Underwoods. She was a jewelry designer, and now do you feel like here you're coming now and you're becoming a jewelry designer? And did you ever see like yourself coming? And I mean, it's kind of an amazing thing how you guys are coming together.
It really is. You know, I grew up visiting her at the store and going to her house on the weekends, sitting around her kitchen table and kind of playing with her things. She was self-taught, so she was showing me what she had taught herself and teaching me her trade. And I got my master's in business and undergraduate in merchandising, product development, always having a passion for jewelry, but not really knowing if I could pursue it. And then when I was trying to figure out what was something permanent that I could have to honor my grandparents and my grandmother, since her tattoo is fading, and so is her memory. And when jewelry came up, it almost seemed like it was the most fitting thing. That's something we bonded over and something that I grew up with.
And I know that you went to school, you said undergrad, and you have a master's degree, merchandising, so you've really learned the trade. What was her reaction when you told her that you wanted to do this in honor of her?
You know, she had said a while ago when she was speaking that if she could just make one person's life more enhanced, a little bit better, then she felt like she would have a successful life. And I'm just trying to follow in her footsteps, although she has big shoes to fill.
What an incredible woman with that perspective. And I'm sure it's difficult for her to share her story, but I mean, I'm sure you have learned a lot. I mean, we learn a lot in school about it, we should. And then to have that firsthand perspective for you, it's a tough thing to learn, but it's important though, right? Don't you feel that we can never forget what happened?
We can never forget, and that's what these pieces of history are really supposed to do, make it so it's a conversation piece. It's raw, but it's something that we should never forget. We need to remember where they came from and where we want to head.
So let's talk about where you're headed with your plan and where you're going to sell your pieces. So right now, they're online. We're looking at your website.
Yes.
It's a beautiful website.
Thank you so much. This is the website, and they're all online. All of the pieces right now are 14 karat gold and sterling silver, and they're featured under the jewelry jewelry tab. We have necklaces, bracelets coming soon, cufflinks, and then a generational line coming soon as well.
And do people who buy these, do they have a perspective and an idea about what each piece represents? Because I'm looking at the piece that you have now. Is there like a story that when they're wearing this, they can take that away from them?
Yes, so when you order it, if you have a family member and you want their number so you can carry on their legacy, if you send send me their name and their country of origin, I can find out that information. And then when you get your piece, it comes with the legacy card. And then if you don't have someone that you're related to, or a dear family friend, then we can send you a number of someone who did not have family, so you can carry on their legacy, and then it sends you their story as well, so you know whose legacy you're carrying and whose life you're continuing.
Just get chills. Like when you tell the story, it's really special.
It's very special. It means a lot to me. It really helped me kind of cope with her getting older, and it did the same for my family. And we figured if it can do that for us, then we want to help everybody else.
Hopefully we'll see your line in a bunch of different places. We'll come back and say, remember when you had the website and now you're all over the place? And it's just a great venture, and it's a great message. And congratulations for not only having the idea, but as we know, talking to a lot of entrepreneurs, executing the idea, seeing it through to fruition, and then here you are to talk about it. And the meaning behind it is special.
Thank you
so
much.
Congratulations.
Good to see you.
And again, you can go, give it the website one more time for people.
JacobElla.com. Jacob with a K, Ella.com.
Okay, and it's right there on the bottom of your screen for more information.